Oh boy, do the men's be crashing out when they see videos like this. I love it.
I have to have a really hard conversation with my husband. I have to basically tell him in a loving way that I really don't care what his dreams and aspirations are, that I really just need him to get a better job.
Oh, fantastic. This is incredible.
When I tell y'all that I've had this conversation several times with men in my life, when I've had to tell a nigga to clock the fuck in, like I ain't as nice as she is. I'll try to be nice. I don't be trying to be an asshole either. But when I've had to tell a man, yeah, I know you have aspirations and dreams and all of that stuff, but you need to clock in, bro. Like your family needs you to make money right now, right? I've had to tell so many, for me, it's so many, it's too many men. Like, I'm like, what are you talking about? You want to be a rapper? What are you talking about? You want to like you have like these dreams, bro. You're 40. Bro, you're 35. You got kids. I remember a long time ago, long time ago. I was so if people don't know, I used to do music. Long time ago though. I stopped making music when I was like seriously stopped making music when I was 25, 24. I stopped making music serious, probably earlier, probably 23. So anyways, so I started making music, right? And when I say stop making music, I basically there was like from 20 to 23, 24, I literally made all my money off of making music, right? And I like couldn't make it anymore. Just I don't want to get into why I couldn't make it anymore. Anyways, so let's just round it up to 25. So, but I'm with the woman who ended up becoming my wife, and there was a time when I was just like depressed, like I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was still in limbo, it was kind of like holding on to an old relationship. It was lingering. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna get back to making music, and mind you, I'm disconnected from everybody. No producers, no studio, no label, nothing. I'm just all on my own. But in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna get back to making music. It was delusional. But anyways, I had no kids. I had no kids. I was really young still. And I feel like I could afford to be that delusional at that time. It was short-lived, relatively speaking. About a year later, I started looking for a job, ended up getting a job, been working ever since. Blah, blah, blah. Cool. So, but the thing that I remember the most was about probably 5 years after that, maybe a little bit. Yeah, about 5 years after that. Like I said, I did music. So all my friends were artists and still are artists to some extent nowadays. We all are artists still. It's weird. And I remember talking to somebody and we both had small children. And I remember telling that person, like, yeah, you need to go to work. Like, I was like, yeah, you may end up becoming a rapper one day. You may end up becoming an artist one day. Again, mind you, both of us had a good level of success. Like, both of us had made like a decent amount of money. He had made more money than me at that point. He had several deals, whatever. So anyways, I remember talking to him and being like, bro, you need to like give this shit up and you need to focus on making money for your family because we don't have the luxury of chasing our dreams anymore because we have kids and we have a wife. And he was like, yeah, yeah, man. I remember talking to him I remember where I was. I was working for Enterprise. I was right by LAX. I was right around the corner from LAX. I worked at the Enterprise by LAX. And I remember the whole scene. I was on the street and I was just on my phone talking to him because it was such a serious conversation. Because I know it was hard. Like I knew what it felt like to give up on your dream, right? But I was telling him like, you got to clock in. This was what 13 years ago now. Yeah, this was 13 years ago. I was 30. Yep. This was 13 years ago. I remember telling him that. 13 years later, I'm having a similar conversation with that same person. Just like, so I couldn't imagine being in, and this is just a friend of mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, could I imagine being in a relationship with a person like this? Absolutely the fuck not. That's blowing my fucking mind.
Incredible. Okay, dig in. I don't care. Like, this is a wife that's at the end of her rope.
She's really resolved. That's what I was going to say. Holly knows.
I love it. This is a wife at the end of her rope. I don't care what your stupid dreams are. I don't care when you think the Avon sales are going to finally come through.
You just need to make money.
Like, we're hungry. Like, so yeah, tell us where you're at.
Okay, so we've been married for 17 years, and we have 5 kids and another on the way.
Oh, wow.
First 10 years, he was active duty in the military. That was really, really hard on our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And we made choices. He chose to get out because our family is more important and that stability is more important.
And I remember just talking about this the other day when the people were like, oh, so should you, would you choose to leave your partner or should your partner leave their jobs if it's taken away from, their time with their family? We were like, yeah, what the fuck? Hell yeah. What's the use in making the money and then losing your family in the interim? Like, that's crazy.
And we made choices. Like, I gave up my career. I'm a preschool teacher by trade, and gave that up to be with our kids. And he's underemployed. He's working like...
Yeah, what's his situation now, job-wise?
He took a job that guarantees him 30 hours a week as a school bus driver. He has 2 degrees, so we already...
What? 2 degrees?
Did the hard work of getting, like, he got those since we've been married.
How's
So she sacrificed everything to put him in a position to be the fucking breadwinner and make all the money for the family. This motherfucker is choosing to be a goddamn bus driver and work 30 hours a week. Now, again, nothing is wrong with being a bus driver. If you have to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, if that's where you at, that's where you at. But he has 2 fucking degrees and a family of 7, 6 kids and 1 wife. He doesn't have the luxury of being a fucking bus driver.
How is he supporting 5 kids, 1 on the way with being a bus driver?
It's really hard. He does get some disability, but it's not like complete or anything.
And Holly, is his mindset like he's happy because he has time with the family? It's not that much. I'm not stressed and all of that. Or does he feel undervalued at all? Like, is he looking or talking about other things?
He's such a sweetheart. I think he really likes what he does. And he loves working with the people he works with.
Then go be a teacher. You got 2 degrees, do a year, get your credential and go be a teacher. Like, what? He loves working with the people. You know those kids those 60 kids you put on the bus with you every day? You could get 120 of them motherfuckers every single day and go be a teacher. Go be a junior high school teacher, or you can get 30 of them in a class. You get half of them in a class and teach them, but you'll get them like, what are we talking about?
That he's job hopped. He's experienced a lot of job loss since he left the military. And he finally has found a job that he really likes, or the people really seem to appreciate him. But it doesn't make up for the fact that he's underpaid. And we're hustling. Yeah. We're on baby step 2. We're like really working the debt snowball to the best of our ability. I have been working like 50 hours a week trying to open my own daycare, which didn't go well because of other things.
50 hours a week while he's working 30 while she's pregnant?
But I've been working and bringing in as much as I can. And so the problem is that all these side hustles brought our income up to the point where we're bringing in almost $10,000 a month. But I'm due soon. And most of my students have left because of my pregnancy, which is understandable.
And you're working so much to make that versus like having a 40-hour week job where you're making 80 or whatever it is.
Yeah, but how much? But Holly, what I'm hearing underneath everything is how much of this is, and all of these things are real and they're not they're not inherently bad. I just want to get to the honest pain point here.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, when I'm trying to think of my last title. When I was the Chief Student Affairs Officer, Dean of Students / Associate Provost, I don't remember what my title was. It was long. I remember my wife, and this is her laughing and joking, but also like when she was at a dinner party, she sure liked saying my husband is a Dean of Students and a college executive than a YouTuber. Doesn't matter that financially we're better off. Doesn't matter that I'm helping way more people. It was a funny thing, but she's like, yeah, it was cool when I got to say that. So is this, you don't like going to talking to other moms and saying, well, my husband's a bus driver? Is that number one? Number two, I hear you've entered into comparison world or scorekeeping world, and that's a dangerous place for relationships. I gave up my career. I'm doing this. I'm working so hard, and I'm about to not be able to work hard because I'm creating another human I'm about to give birth to. And so is this about you keeping score and saying, hey, you're not as tired at the end of the day as I am? Or is this, I'm looking at a man I love who...
What? Is that what you got from what she said? Man. Oh, man. Hey, man. Hey, you know what? Maybe that's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? But what are you talking about? That is not what I got from what she was saying at all. Keeping score, that is not what I got. What I got and what I'm getting from what she is saying is look at all that I had to sacrifice, right? Well, we sacrificed collectively, but I sacrificed more than him to put him in a position or to get him in a position to be able to financially provide for this family, and he is not seizing upon that opportunity. That and because of that, I am now forced to work even harder. I am forced to work even harder than I would have been had I just continued to work and not had all these fucking kids and not put him through college and so on and so forth. That's what I'm getting from what she's saying. It's not scorekeeping. But if you're keeping score, she's losing. He's winning. Right? So yeah, that matters.
Can give value to the world, and we don't have enough for groceries. Like, where's the pain point here? Or maybe it's a cocktail of all of that.
I didn't grow up with money or anything. It doesn't matter to me what he does. I don't care about his title.
Okay.
And I've been a stay-at-home mom off and on, and that's what I would prefer to do.
Okay.
But I'm fine with making sacrifices for our family. I'm not asking him to do anything that I haven't done. And I think he sees what I do and acknowledges it, and is very grateful. I don't think it's a comparison thing for me. I think it's just that I'm scared because we're about to lose
half your income.
That's it.
Half our income.
Yeah.
And,
that's where you start. That right there is the most honest statement, because that's different than you called in saying, and again, I'm with you, not at you. Okay. So, but that's you calling in saying, I have to tell my husband I don't care about his dreams and his whatever. He's got to get another job. That's different than you saying, hey, honey, we're about to face a math problem. And me as a stay-at-home mom of 6, I'm terrified.
Well, I tried to have that conversation, and he's like, well, maybe I want to be a teacher, which means he has to go back to school.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you look at the salary that starting pay for teachers in our state.
Yeah, y'all made, like, enough. This sounds awful, but y'all made choices to have create 6 humans. So that means you can't afford to make $42,000. That's the trade.
Yeah.
Or live in Portland, right?
Right. Well, we live outside of Portland in a much cheaper area, but he thinks we can make up the gaps with the side hustles, which we've been doing.
But y'all aren't going to be able to do side hustles anymore. You're out.
Yeah, and the side hustle world is for a season. It's not ongoing to support
right.
a 7-person family.
And he's up against like time. Yeah. He doesn't have any more hours in the day to do another side hustle. He already has like 2 part-time gigs plus his bus driving.
So if I'm you,
it's so crazy. This is like literally what I've been talking about on my live every day. How like men would rather do all of these side hustles than just to like he already has the degrees, let's say in this case, but like, okay, like fucking lock in, pick something and do it and execute. You know what I mean? Like, fuck all this, like, get your gadgets, like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna like, all like, bro, stop. So frustrating sometimes. It's frustrating being a man when you know better. And it's also frustrating, like, seeing the things that men do when you know better. You know what I mean?
I would sit down and start with, I want to map this out for the next 6 months. I want us to be honest about the money, not, well, I hope here, and I think I've got a deal here, and I'm trying to build this. We're not at that place right now. I want to be honest about what's coming down the road for 6 months. We need to sit down and make a plan. I'm scared to death. Will you help me with this? And this is not, that's how you get underneath the dream part. I need this written down. How much money will you bring in from these side hustles? Not fantasy, not fiction. I needed to know, based on the last 3 months, what are we going to do the next 3 to 6 months? And then you look and say, we don't have enough money for you to go be a teacher. I want you to be. We need good teachers. I would love for more men to be teachers, but our family, as for us right now, we can't afford to do that.
So moral of the story is, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it think. You know what I'm saying? Because why wouldn't you as a man, why wouldn't you as a rational human being in that situation, lock in, bro, go make some money? Why are you putting all of that stress and burden on that woman? Like, it's really crazy to me to listen to stuff like that and to see the things that I see in real life. And I'm sitting here watching people like drowning financially. Now, I don't say the things that I'm saying like to everybody. I know everybody's situation is different. And I'm not on some pull yourself up by your bootstraps type shit for the masses. You know what I'm saying? Outside of, we need to just, rehaul. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, just destroy this whole system and make a new system. I'm not on that type of time when it comes to people, right? But individually, if I know you, like if I like this person has 2 degrees, I'm like, fool, what are you doing? You're an ex-vet, right? And you got 2 degrees. The world is your oyster, and you're a white man. Like, I don't want to hear it. Go make some money. To my friend, I'm like, bro, you are very productive, very intelligent. Like, you can do whatever you want to do if you put your mind to it. Go do it. You know what I'm saying? If you can get 2 record deals, you can make $100,000 in the real world. If you can get a record label to give you $100,000 or $500,000 one time and $150,000 another time, you can get somebody to give you $80,000 a year for doing a fucking job. That's what I'm saying. But instead, it's like, it got to be on our terms. If it don't happen the way we want it to happen, we got to feel good. But like, if a woman, God forbid, a woman puts herself first, like, men complain about women putting themselves first. But, like, I saw this video where this man was talking about how they asked, it was on Diary of a CEO, but they asked this man and this woman who was married, they asked them in order, what are your priorities in your relationship? And the man said, the kids, my wife, and me, or something like that. And then they asked the wife, and when the man heard the wife's answers, he was like shook, because her answer was me, the kids, and then my husband. And he was like, oh, well, like, I don't understand. He was like, I get why you would say me last, but that you would prioritize yourself over the kids. And she's like, yeah, because if I don't take care of myself, I'm not going to be able to take care of you guys. Because when it comes to women, nobody is pouring into the woman. So the woman has to prioritize herself to make sure that she can prioritize everybody else. You see what I'm saying? So she can make sure that she can address everybody else. But God forbid, like, men be out here prioritizing themselves to the detriment of everybody else. When a woman prioritizes herself, everybody still gets fed and everybody still gets full. When the man prioritizes himself, everybody suffers. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the thing it's so frustrating to hear these scenarios play out, because you're like, dude, I can see exactly what's happening. And I know the men know what's happening, but we just like refuse to get out of our own way and do what's best for ourselves and our family. because of our egos and because of our weak mental stability. Pretty much our weak mental fortitude. We just can't. We just can't do the things we need to do in these instances often.